So thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. Munira Jamjoom, CEO of Income Education. We recently launched our first EdTech product. We've been working in Saudi Arabia and UAE for the past 4 years. So, what is the problem we're trying to solve with Aanaab? And Aanaab, for those who don't know Arabic, means great. Great referring to your best work. The problem we're trying to solve is really the low quality of teaching impacting student outcomes and student learning. When we broke down this problem, we realized that teachers have very little access to professional development opportunities that actually make a difference. They have very little motivation and incentives, whether from government or private sector, and there is very little options in terms of quality to access to high quality Arabic learning resources and opportunities. So, what have we done to solve this problem? We know from research, I'm an education expert, that teachers are the thermometers that measure the health of any education system. If you look at research, and all rigorous research tells you that if you take an average student, you give them an average teacher, not a lot of change happens. But if you have an average student and a great teacher, within 3 years you can see a significant impact in student learning and student achievement. So this is what we're trying to solve. The solution we proposed is as follows. We wanted to create a professional learning community for teachers where they can learn. We know that teachers learn from each other. We know that teachers learn from high quality content. And we know that teachers usually have a dip when it comes to implementation. So we're trying to provide a platform for teachers to learn. What does this platform provide? An e-learning opportunity for teachers where teachers can take courses that are relevant to their day-to-day practice. An e-commerce platform for teachers to create and share content with other teachers, because we know that textbook publishers are going to go out of business in the next 10 years. Content is going to be created by teachers and for teachers, and a community of teachers to talk about their professional practice online. Why is Aanaab different from other competitors? We looked at everyone who's working in the e-learning and content providers. So if you look at international providers, you have the MOOC platforms here, and then you have the content providers here, Teachers Pay Teachers, TEST, etc. When we looked at the Arab world as well, we have here are the content providers that provide content for children, and these are the MOOC providers that provide e-training for different sectors, not specifically for education. Aanaab, we're positioned right in the middle. We're saying you come and you learn, and you create content, and you share content with other teachers in the Arab world who don't have access to this. Why are we distinct from competitors? We focus on Arabic education and training. We are already an education company. We work in the education services industry. We partnered with the largest MOOC operator in the Arab world. They have over 2 million students, and we're trying to create a niche, a MOOC platform only for Arab teachers to upskill them. We already have infrastructure, and we have a success story. We have a partnership with Cambridge International Examinations, and we provided a few courses that I'm going to talk about now. Why are we different as well? We focus on the whole teacher. The heart, we need to motivate the teacher. The cognitive, where we need to give the teacher skills that really matter. And the craft, because at the end of the day, teaching is a craft that improves with practice. We have a very special framework that I'm very proud of, because it took us a long time to get to this framework. When we worked with the Arab teacher, we realized that we need to focus first on mindset. Most of the platforms that you go to focus on skills. We said first we're going to brainwash the Arab teacher, we're going to give them motivation, we're going to improve their mindset, then we're going to focus on all the generic skills and the fundamental modules that they need. Then you go for vertical learning, questioning for Islamic, assessment for math, etc. And this is how we are designing our learning platform. So you have an individual learning journey for each teacher that registers with Aanaab. And we are now developing as well a customized assessment for these teachers to push content that is relevant to that teacher and to the classroom of that teacher. All right, this is me. I gave my first course last week. We launched it on the 11th of March. Now we have 12,000 teachers registered. We have a very specific market. We're focusing on the Arab teacher. I'm going to skip this very quickly. We've done all our business plan. Who are our consumers? Who are our beneficiaries? What is our growth plan? Our accomplishments to date. So we've worked with several companies. We've signed up with several universities to develop content for the Arab teacher. This was a teacher that won an award. Actually, she won a car before women were allowed to drive in Saudi. And she was from the area where there was a war zone. These are the entities that we signed with. some of the downloads and numbers. We think we are on the right track. We trained our first batch of Ministry of Education teacher. These are the responses, and this is really what makes us work, the responses of the teachers, and thank you, and we have an outstanding team.